Light for your light over there is
We're now
a
recording. So what year is this motor?
76.
76 STD cases. Some mechanic of unknown name put the motor together without putting the snap ring between or the spacing ring between the two timken bearings, and kind of wasted the rollers in here a little bit, along with the race becoming really overheated and chewing up the case over here. Also, this is supposed to be a press-in part over here. It's not supposed to just fall in and out. There's no stuck in there with only one hand, but there you go. So we now have a case that's got a lip in here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's got a wear lip right there where it's been beaten on the case. And overheated race and a bearing that's junk, and the customer just wants to throw it back together and sell it to someone else that needs it. But we're not going to do that because I don't care what the customer says. We're not doing that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a bearing that we had laying around, which happens to be a panhead part. So we have a one bearing race that's got a little corrosion on it, and some timken bearings that look new but got some corrosion on them. And we got two spacers here which we're not going to use because we're not doing a panhead. So this is a panhead spacers. We're going to go ahead and use the shovelhead spacers, which are different here. So we got a bag full of them here to choose from, but here's a loose one. So that was the part that was supposed to be on here. Remember, whenever I talk about putting motors together, I say make sure you got your washer in there. It's kind of important. So that's what happens when you do not have it in there. It tears up the bearing big time. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull this one out, see how bad this side is, and then we're going to clean it up a little bit. We're going to probably prick punch it a little bit to get the metal expanded up a little bit. We're going to take some sleeve retainer Loctite right there, and we're going to Loctite the snot out of this thing. Mock it up real quickly, let it sit for a few minutes with this case on it to line everything all up, and then take it apart and put it together for real. So there you go, you get to hold that. So follow the hands, they tend to be going where I'm working. So first thing I'm doing is going to knock this out. Usually I just take like a socket and a hammer and beat it out. Kind of like that. See, it did have oil in it. You thought it ran dry. And this side doesn't look very good either, but it's still smooth. So we could put that one back in if we had to. This one appears to still be tight, but you can see all the marks in there. It's the same as the bearing. It didn't like being run that way. That's no good. And that still looks good. This was an S&S one. Look how smooth it is. It had one good part of the whole motor. Alright, so go ahead and get this bearing off of here. So we're going to use our puller up here. You have to look with the camera, not your eyes. So we need that. If we're lucky, get in there. If we're not lucky, it won't fit in there. It appears to not want to go in there very easily, but it's jamming on it. What size nut is that?
11/16.
size.
Mexican speed wrench.
That's only because we're near Mexico. Now all I'm doing, I'm jamming into the bearing roller there, and I'm under the cage over here. So it's going to come off, but it's going to definitely screw up the bearing. But I don't really care because the bearing's no good anyway. Now this has been modified for my application. And I don't know who made the wrench originally, but it works pretty damn nice. I'm guessing this is the size. Welded itself on there, it looks like. It appears it does not want to come off. At least now I can get behind it, get a bite on it. More even. We'll be lucky if it's not galling the shaft up coming out. Alright, try it again. That's the hardest one I ever had to take off. I think that was on there. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was on there good. That's why you gotta have good tools. So you can abuse the hell out of them. And they keep ticking. Definitely a big improvement. See, I used to use stuff like this. See a difference in screw size? And this bigger one over here?
Yeah.
That's a little bit different size there. All right. So we're gonna reuse that?
Only if the oil's heavy. Heavy oil.
Heavy oil?
Real heavy oil.
Harley heavy oil? Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, that was definitely on there. I'm surprised it didn't gall the shaft up. That's the other one we're not using that. Okay, that's a junk pile. We're keeping that, we might need that. Okay. So now we're going to do, damn, he's got an Excel crank pin in that thing, look at that. Get some good parts in this motor.
Just not done right.
Yeah. It could have been a good motor. There still is a lot of good parts in here, it's not worn out yet. It'd be nice if they actually rebuilt it and did it right. Okay, we'll go ahead and clean up this stuff right now, then we'll come back after it's cleaned up and we'll continue.
There we go.
Still feels a little bit brown. Okay, I knocked out the bearing race. Get within there a little bit tight, so that's a plus. Okay, this is our new one here for you. It doesn't look too bad. A little bit of rust on there. So that's our bad spot. So we'll put that at the very top because all the pressure on the crank is on the bottom. There's almost no load on the top, so we'll put the bad part on top. We get the bearings. Alright. So can you see how much wear is in there? Quite a bit of wear, right?
Wow.
This one has the least amount of wear, or least amount of rust on, I should say. Okay, we need one more bearing race. So what do we got in bearing races? You got a squat. One broken in one. That was a matched pair I had. Okay, we're assuming this could go in there a little bit loose. It feels pretty even on the top. All our wear is right here on the bottom. So we're going to prick punch it. So you take a prick punch or a center punch. You know what the difference is?
It's got a point.
Yeah, they have a point. That's not a difference. Center punch usually at 90 degrees, a prick punch is more usually at 60 degrees. So, or when one's used by pricks and one's not.
Yeah.
So we're going to just do a hole pattern here. Just like that. Kind of tighten up a little bit. Got the high spots in there. You don't have the light on. You don't need much, just need a little bit. Right, so
You have to go all the way around, or just where it's
just where it's worn.
where it's worn?
See how it pretty much quits wearing over here, so let's give it only one. This one's worn all the way to this side on this side, so we'll go a little bit further. See, it's hard to do when you go like this, it doesn't leave a mark anymore. Okay, so now it's got those nice prick punch marks in there. Makes it look very professional. Wipe off the residue. Where's the new one at?
Does that light keep going off by itself?
Okay, I figured out what it was. Okay, we're taking our sleeve between our Loctites. I gotta be careful not to cut yourself on those sharp edges you just put in there. Put a good layer of this Loctite in here. Now this will seal up to a 20 or 25 thou gap, so it'll do a lot.
Do you go all the way around, or just in the holes?
Yeah, I'm gonna go all the way around. That way I can charge you more. I'm using more Loctite.
Funny how that always works out that way.
Okay. I'm gonna go over here. This one seemed like it went on fairly snug, or came out decently, but.
What is our work time with this?
Pretty much starts sticking as soon as you put it in the hole. So we're going to stick it together like that. Actually jumped the gun a little bit when I was doing. I should have put this on the flywheel first. But Loctite's not going to set up until you put pressure on it, so it can sit. Lube up this bearing a little bit. Put on front. Just trying to get away. Your installation tool.
Invaluable.
This is different than the S&S one that you got.
Yeah. I kind of like this one.
Now we know how hard the other one came off. It's going on pretty easy, this one. Starting to get a little harder now. About normal right now. That's how you get your exercise. How many reps is this?
How many what?
How many reps?
I'm not counting them. Is there a point where it bottoms out?
It just goes on forever.
Oh. Seems like it.
There, right there. Appears to be down. Tiring.
Nice tool.
It locks the center and unscrews it. Alright, that one is now in. Okay, now I'm going to take these, push these two in. press. And a pressing tool. Not that one. That appears to be a good one. This one looks good all the way around. I always like putting the outer one in first. Stopped. Sitting on the lip of the case there. That's all against it. Yeah, we got pretty hard with that Loctite on there. Okay, now this one we take the bad side. That spot right there.
Put it to the heavens.
Put it on the up. Down. The metal came off of something. Alright, it went in tight. So it's pretty well in there now. It ain't moving. Let's put a lubricant on that. And we got the other bearing. So what did I forget?
A C washer.
Bearing spacer.
Bearing spacer. Just like the other guys.
What size do we want?
20 thousandths.
106.5. That sounds just about right.
Okay.
That's a pretty common number. Between 105 and 108 is our common sizes lately. Of course, this is a lot of used parts, so considering this a used motor, loose is better than tight. And the unsuspecting person is going to wind up with this motor will appreciate it being loose and not tight. Now this is not a grenade motor, this will actually run for a little while. The way the customer wanted to put together, it would grenade. I'll put together a marginal motor, but I'm not putting together a grenade motor. But this is not the recommended crap to be doing. When you're dealing with a bunch of junk, that's all you got to deal with. See how the case wants to come back on itself? It means it's got clearance in it. And then you feel for clearance. Can you hear it?
A little bit, yeah.
It's got clearance. Okay, leave the pressure on it. It's a good thing I didn't put a 106. It's a 106 and a half. It would have been tight. And take the motor. We're going to put our right side case on here.
Sounds like a shovel head.
Okay, you want to get the bearings. Taper rollers, the rollers drop into the taper and lock up. So you have to rotate a couple revolutions to get the bearings back up where they belong. When you take it and push on it, you should be able to feel it.
Are we checking for end play? Is that what you're doing now?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not getting anything.
Does this mean the C spacer washer is too thick?
Too thin.
Too thin?
I know it's got some clearance in it, but I don't know what the alignments of this whole case are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you beat that bearing like that, the center line could have changed slightly. There's a lot of stuff that can be going on. So right now I'm not feeling any clearances in it. I know it has some, but it's pretty low.
What's the fix? To take it apart?
Well, I also haven't pulled this thing together, which could affect it a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
See, I got a big gap in here.
Yeah, I noticed this.
So we need to get the hardware for this to tighten this stuff all down. That stud's all screwed up. You need to put a nut on that.
Mm-hmm.
See how it's all mashed over?
Yes.
It's because it went in so hard. Came out so hard. I didn't beat that side out, I beat this side out. So whoever took that apart, they had to use a big punch in there to beat it out hard. Are these the bolts are supposed to be in there?
There are those bolts right there.
Yeah, we should pull it together a little bit. That obviously didn't have a washer on that one.
Oh wait, there's a piece of metal on that. So, right there. Try it. There.
Don't feel very good.
Those are helicoils.
Yes, it is helicoiled. And they're not supposed to be going in quite that hard. Boy. Definitely not first class application of a motor. This stud's too short to use there. That's the only studs we have. Let's get on the other side. Go through on this motor. And my airline's all screwed up. Alright, let's see if we got a little bit of... I know it's not very tight because it's got rolls back and forth pretty good. But it's the old pump and hear it. Did you hear that one clunk I got?
Mm-hmm.
That means there's some clearance in it.
So is that the end plate we're looking for?
Yeah.
Okay.
I only got one before it stopped. Yeah. Doesn't want to repeat it, but it's in there.
Now, is that because of the timken bearings are working them more? They're working themselves into the.
Yeah, they just drop in the taper. It wedges in pretty quickly. They're not very loose either. It's got only a little clearance.
I hear it.
There. That's only got about 2 to 3 in it, which is what they recommend, but that's for something like this. You want a little bit slightly looser, but it's usable. So what we got right now, it's working. Now normally I would have trued the crank up too and make sure it's true, but
I ran it through a truing at home. It was within 2 thousandths.
all right. This motor here, it's not a normal motor. Piece of crap. So it might vibrate it, but it won't blow up. So watch out. Alright, so we got that part handled. So we know that part's going to work. We need to get these hardware figured out. Need to get all these bolts fixed.
Mm-hmm.
We have to put these in a lathe and turn them back around and re-die them. You're still missing some hardware. I assume it's still at home, or?
Yeah, I didn't bring all of the. You said you needed 3.
Yeah.
3 points. So that's what I kind of was concentrating on.
Got a couple in there at least.
Now a seal goes in here.
Yeah.
No more spacing.
We also had a wrist pin issue over here. You're not supposed to be able to move your wrist pin bushing in and out like this. That's not the normal fit that we use around here.
So is this can be glued also? Is what you would do?
Yep.
Okay.
That's exactly what I'm going to do. Once again, not very recommended at all. But it will work for quite a while. Unless it gets hot. Once it hits 350 degrees, it comes out again. Make sure you get all the oil residue off. Give it a fighting chance of holding. Sleeve retainer again.
So where do you buy the sleeve retainer Loctite? 'Cause you don't see it in the automotive places too much
Online,
online.
industrial places. Cayman's got it down the street. I think they got it. You just see you go stuff online anymore.
Somebody left a hair. Oh, that thing's junk. That's why it comes out of there. Forget it. That guy's no good. You gonna
no
still put
fixing
it in there?
There's no fixing it. It is what it is. Yes, it is. Don't worry about it sticking.
It's gonna sound like a little knock.
Oh, it'll knock. It won't blow up, but it'll knock. I've run worse at Bonneville.
Knock is the least of your worries there.
Yeah, I ran a whole week with the motor had no rod bearings in it. Started knocking real bad after the second day, and I ran the rest of the week that way. Every pass, you didn't know if you make it to the finish line without blowing the motor to pieces, but screw it. We're there at the race, we're running it. It's not shit you want to do, but so you can pack up and go home or blow it. So I got another 4 more records that week. One thing about nitrous, I don't care if as long as it still turns, it makes power.
So now this case has to come apart after it sets up?
Yeah, it's already set up. Those
But-
bushings were set up since I pushed them in.
Okay. But it
I'm
has,
waiting for this one to set up.
okay.
Now you notice I opened up the oil hole over here for you, so you actually got oil going into it. So,
Where are you at here? Oh, yeah.
yeah, so through here you got a hole.
Mm-hmm.
And see that one's got a hole in it too. So it doesn't matter how you put it in there. But it's definitely worn out.
Yeah.
Putting it mildly, it's junk.
Yeah, junk.
So this has been loose spinning because the bearings had no space in them. So we're going to put a new seal on this, so at least it won't leak too much. So we'll put a seal in there. So this is not the recommended work that we like to do around here. And the only reason I'm even doing it is to help you out.
It's much appreciated.
Official installation tool. Alright. You gonna handle grinding the studs and rethreading them, or do I need to work on this?
No, I'll do all that.
Okay. So it's mocked up right now. It'll work, it'll run. It's a piece of crap. No argument about that.
So,
Here's your lifter fill out.
when do we have to take it apart? It has to come apart to put the sealer between the cases?
When you get home, you can do it.
Yeah, okay.
Right now, I get your lifters back in here. Your lifters fell out, remember?
Yeah.
If you stick a piece of wood dowel in here or something in a hole, it would stay in there, or put the cam back in there, the lifters would have stayed in.
Yeah.
They're going to fall out again, but you didn't bring a cam with you. Lay that in there, it'll catch them a little bit. There, that'll hold it slightly until that moves out. And I don't know why the pinion gear's off. Did you take that off for a reason?
The, what?
Pinion gear's
Yeah,
off.
so it would come off. It wouldn't go past the oil pump gear.
The oil pump, that's right.
No.
You didn't take the oil pump out. This has got the old early pump on it still. Definitely an older motor. You want these extra parts?
No. Yours.
These are for a generator motor.
Which you got lots of.
I got more than one I'm working on.
Yeah, more than one.
So we got a good motor.
Beautiful.
We got a piece of crap.
What a difference. Well, I'm sorry you didn't make the trade.
They look close. Yeah, you wanted to trade even up.
Yeah, even trade.
Trade across, no problem. There's no question to ask.
Yeah, no questions. Well, that's what's going to happen when this poor guy, yeah.
Yeah, well, this is definitely a precision job here. So here's one of your studs. Is that one of yours too, or one of mine? I don't remember.
Yours.
Okay.
Mine were chrome.
That's one of yours. This one doesn't quite enough to go in there all the way, but we'll lay it in there. So that's one of my pots. All right, well, there's how you do a quickie backyard special. Here's one of yours.
Yeah, that's mine.
Unrecommended. There.
Okay.
That'll help fill in the voids. But it'll run, and it won't blow up instantly.
It'll make lots of noise before it gives out.
You'd be surprised how quiet it'll run like this. But you'll probably get another 5,000 miles out of this piece of crap, even this bad. Might even get more than that, depending on how hard you drive it. You'd be surprised how long these things will run crap.
Like crap.
They'll go a long, long time. But at some point, it'll quit running. It'll definitely knock and probably use oil and all the other good stuff. But you won't even use that much oil if you got decent rings in it and put sealer between the cases.
Mm-hmm. You've already done the top end.
Yeah,
on
great.
it, so, yeah.
That makes it work even. It makes my job well good.
Yeah.
I always like when my nice good stuff goes on top of crap. Thanks.
Well,
Now I feel so great.
yeah. Well, if you had more money, you could become president.
Yeah. So I wonder if there's a problem. But anyway, that's how you do a quickie fix on a pile of crap, and hope you don't get it. So
Yeah.
there we go.
Buyer beware.